Hello YouTube, this is Steve, your English teacher, and today we're going to do some listening, reading and grammar about GeoWizard. That is Tom Davis, who has some great YouTube videos who you should watch. You should go and subscribe and watch How Not to Travel Europe, the Straight Line Mission Across Wales, and it's a good way of learning English, is watching interesting things like this. So let's get into it. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is watch the first video in the How Not to Travel Europe series, which you can, I'm sure, find yourself. It's not that difficult, is it, to go here? I'm not going to watch it in the video because that would be strange, watching a YouTube video in a YouTube video. I'll leave the link in the description. Watch the first 5 minutes and enjoy it. It's a great video. You should more or less be able to understand what's happening based on Tom's narration. And then answer these questions. Maybe copy and paste these into a separate part document, line them up so you can read the questions as you're watching the video, like you will be doing in a Cambridge exam or any kind of English exam. You'll be reading the questions and listening at the same time. They are in order. They require a short answer. The answers we're going to go through now, if you've understood the video, will be that Greg is his stepbrother, best pal and partner in crime. You're learning some nice vocab when you're watching these videos, right? Partner in crime, nice way of describing their friendship. What makes this video interesting? They're not paying for transport or accommodation. So it's going to be challenging and fun. They have to talk to people and do unusual things, which is what makes it interesting. Why are they doing it? Again, great vocab you can learn here. To rekindle the magic. Rekindle has this connotation of lighting a fire again. Kindling is the small sticks and bits of wood that you use to start a fire. So rekindling it to light that fire, to relight that fire of when they were children and they would go exploring. There was a setback, a problem, which was the flight was cancelled. Oh dear. So they had to take a train to Heathrow to continue the plan. And on this train, what did we see? A beautiful British scene of potentially drunken or maybe just strange people singing, dancing, which hastened Tom's desire to leave the country, made it stronger, made it want to happen sooner and faster. To hasten something means it makes it happen sooner or faster. And then we finally get to Geneva and we are going to take the train and the speedboat on the first step of this journey, which is a long journey. There's a spanner in the works, meaning some potential problem, because you shouldn't put spanners in your machines, which was that the ticket inspectors were hot, which we can understand from the context here, meaning they were active, they were dangerous. There was a good chance of getting fined or of getting kicked off the train and not being able to continue the journey. So the plan was, when I did this in class, I sort of, do the kids understand it? Do I understand it? I'm not sure. It's a very strange plan. But the idea is we wanted to go to Neon, but we didn't know we couldn't stop there. So you'll have to chuck us off, kick us off, throw us off, eject them from the train at Lausanne, which is where they wanted to go anyway. So that's the big plan. So you've done a bit of listening there. I really hope that you enjoy it. The video, that you want to watch more of it, that you use this kind of thing to learn English. I love these videos because, as you can see from even the first 5 minutes, we really see their character coming across, and it is a very heartwarming style of video. It makes you feel good about people. There's a word that's not coming to mind, but it shows you the kindness of strangers, the generosity of people, how most people out there are nice, good people. And if you talk to them, they will listen to you, they will try and help you. And obviously not everyone's going to do it because there's a lot of effort. But when they're trying to get a boat, for example, you saw in this part of the video, they just walk up to people and say, can we, by any chance, are you going anywhere, do you think? And eventually someone's going to say yes, and you'll meet nice people. And you can be one of those people. So that's the other lesson from this video, is be the person who says yes to Tom and helps people in their adventures, and maybe you have a little adventure yourself. So we've done our listening. The next task I'd like to do, as we see the route that they plan to take, and as you see the first step that we saw in the video is just the first little squiggle, the first little line. So there's many steps through Central Europe. We're going to do some reading as well. So what I've got What I've got is this text that I will post in the description on Pastebin, so you can copy and paste it. It's adapted from an article in The Guardian. I've adapted it down to a sort of B2-C1 length text for a part of the exam, which might be part 5 or part 6. But the actual questions I've got for you are a mix of questions to test comprehension, kind of questions that you find in lots of different exams, multiple choice, true or false, where you also have to give the justification of why it's true or false, like you have to do in, for example, International Baccalaureate English exams, and finding synonyms in the text. So again, these are similar to Spanish university English exams to get into university in the subject of English, but similar to also B2 and C1 and IB and lots of different exams for you to do. So what you need to do is look at the text and look at the questions, which I've posted in the description. Take 10 minutes to try and do it properly, to read the interesting article, and then we'll come back and look at the answers. And we should have, for number 1, C. They would probably want to do it their way. He doesn't want the man controlling his ideas. He wants to be an independent creator. So C, definitely the best fit. And why was he doing more than just GeoGuessr? Because the audience presumed he was a nerd who sits in his bedroom. This implies that he wanted to show he was more than the stereotypical geek. He is a geek who also goes and walks in straight lines outside. He's more than just a GeoGuessr. So there's your multiple choice. For true or false, that number 3 is going to be false, isn't it? Without much sense of direction. And if the whole point here is about geography videos, if you don't have a sense of direction, you don't have a clear plan. Sense of direction, straight ahead until you get to the ocean in a straight line. And then you can go to the beach. Did he discover GeoGuessr before it was widely popular? Yes, prior to the game, before becoming popular, growing in popularity. Easy. His followers lost interest? No, that's false. He now earns more than before. And also there was another possible justification there as well that someone said in my class that I can't remember, but it was they were quite interested to see I was quite outgoing. So they were interested? No, they didn't lose interest. And number 4, the next adventure is more comfortable. According to the article, no, I've stayed in my comfort zone, but I'm going to aim higher, implying that it will not be comfortable because it's not in his comfort zone because of this but. Finding the words, to cut is to slash, to hold is to clutch, to move secretively is to sneak, and badly behaved in the first half of the text, only in the part before the underlined word is what I was going for, is naughty. He's a naughty boy. A word normally used for children, but just about fits in this case of making videos like this. So you've done a bit of reading comprehension. Let's go on to some grammar. This, I think, is a really unique little activity I've made. I was happy when I made this. I was satisfied with how useful and interesting it is. Real comments from YouTube, from this YouTube video that we watched, based on what people think of this series. And I've made a use of English part 3. These ones are a bit easier. These ones are more like B2 level. You need to complete the sentences using the root word, transforming the root word so it fits a sentence. These ones are about B2 level, I'd say. And I'm going to tell you the answers to see if you got them right, because you've done it now. You've written your answers in your English notes. And number 1, how do you hate it? Genuinely, we need an adverb. Number 2, remind, reminder, common transformation. Actually, most people are nice, meaning in reality. Again, we need an adverb. And number 4, it is brilliantly what? We need a past participle. It's brilliantly presented. Great work, Tom. Let's do the same, but a bit more difficult. Again, a real comment from this YouTube video. Take a minute to think, how do I transform these words so they fit the sentences? This one is more difficult. And here are the answers. It is a medium defining masterpiece because it is defining the medium of YouTube. This is what YouTube should be. This is what it's all about. And I'd agree with Daniel. Number 2, constrain is the verb, like complain is a verb. And you know the noun of complain because you have to write a letter of complaint. So we follow the same pattern and we say constraint, plural, because we're talking about the constraints that get in the way. They get in the way. It must be plural, not gets. Number 3, I dropped this word in the conversation before, kindness. Kindness is magic, be kind, and so on. And number 8, if it's grander, then it's full of meaning. It's important. It's meaningful. Meaningful, not meaningless, meaningful. Let's do the same for use of English part 2, because we're on a roll here. Pause the video. What common grammatical word goes in this gap according to the structure and meaning of the sentence? And here come the answers. You should have for the first gap, more than. For the second, how kind humans can be. For the third one, this is probably the most difficult one, the real answer that was written in the comment, and I think the best answer is you get back on your feet. You can maybe say 2, but I think get back on your feet is probably more common. I haven't Googled it to check which has more results. And the last one, obviously, these are all nice things to say. So what do you say to Tom? You say, thanks for doing it. As I said again, the first ones I've made a bit more B2. Let's do these that are a bit more C1, mainly because of having to understand the meaning of the sentence. So take a minute, read it carefully, and think about the meaning of the sentence. That will tell you the word that must go in the blank. And we should have the people, okay, the first one is easy, the people who or that you rely on. These people are, in the end, after all, right? After all, meaning in the end, following what I just said before, the highlights of the adventure. Now, this point about aspect ratio, this is the size of the square of the camera, and I don't know why you do this, but they have a unique look due to this aspect ratio, because of the aspect ratio. So why and because for those last 2 gaps. Right, that's our use of English. What I also did in class, of course, was have a nice conversation about the similar topic, about if you could backpack across European countries, where would you go? What are the challenges? Using your GPS or not? Of course, in Spain, we just had the great blackout, the power outage, the apagón yesterday. That was very fun. So we're all thinking about this question. But nice to also do a bit of speaking in class and go through these questions. I haven't prepared any answers because this has to be spontaneous, doesn't it? It's just let's see what happens. Let's have a chat and see what happens, and hopefully share some interesting ideas. Right, I think that's plenty to be studying for this week. Hope it was useful. See you again next week. Goodbye.